guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to read an article that definitely is going to back up why so many guys are walking away, which is titled, Diva NYC Influencer Goes Viral for Ditching First Date Over Lame Restaurant and Doubles Down on Her High Standards Amid Online Hate. And a big shout out to all you guys let me know about this article. And like I said, guys, this article is actually going viral all about this gal who's 29 years old. She lives in New York City and essentially had a first date. A guy took her to a restaurant. It wasn't good enough for her, and she dumped the guy right on the spot and posted about it online and naturally got a lot of attention for it. And even though I don't want to give people like that attention, I got to at least mention this article given what I do here. And this situation really, again, reinforces what I've been saying for so long, why so many guys are walking away. Because this is the attitude that's so prevalent in our society right now, this high and mighty, high standard attitude. I mean, you got to be a real serious BIT to kick a guy to the curb on the first date because, yeah, like the restaurant he took you to? Good God almighty. And this is also going to reinforce why gals just like this in a few years are going to be whining because guess what? They don't have a guy. And I'm doing this one for a couple reasons. This article isn't that long, but I got to read it anyway. One, to reinforce where I tell you guys, when it comes to the first dates, keep them inexpensive. Something like a drink, an alcoholic beverage, a coffee, something like that. And you may say, why, SSM? Because I'm going to get dumped like that guy. Well, that's a good thing. Because by keeping it inexpensive, a drink, something like that, reasonable, that will weed out a-holes like this. Because do you really want to be wasting your time beyond one quick drink with someone like this? She was doing that guy a favor. He dodged a big one here. And I might add, what kind of an a-hole who thinks so high and mighty themselves, such high standards, that they would ditch a guy over his restaurant choice? It wasn't like he took her to freaking Taco Bell or something and she was having a really bad, you know what, that's been happening to people that eat at Taco Bell lately. No, it was a restaurant, for God's sakes. But she's so amazing and fabulous, nope, wasn't good enough for her. And this weeds out the gold diggers. It weeds out gals that I think they're so high and mighty, that type of thing. And so I'm going to go through this one. I think you guys will find it pretty funny. And in the end, one of the best parts is the comment section, hearing what people have to say about that. But before I get into it, guys, remember to come check me out, the men's community on Patreon or Locals. You can get in as a free member, check it out, or a paying supporter, and you get a lot of exclusive content, videos, free that will not be on here on YouTube, as well as all my stuff in advance commercial free. So come on by and check it out. Okay, anyway, on to the gal here. And oh, by the way, guys, certainly click on the link. You can see what she looks like. And I got to say, there's pictures of her all glammed up for the photo shoot. And let me tell you, there's other ones where she's not. And in my opinion, she's not that great looking. And she's 29. We know what happens after 29, 30. But I'll get more on that later. I mean, people can say, what are you talking about, SSM? Well, hey, I'm not going around acting like I'm some high and mighty person, so I can say what I got to say, but she's not that great looking. Anyhow, says here, she's got no reservations. A picky Manhattan diva went viral for ditching a first date over a quote-unquote lame dinner spot and doubled down on her high society standards this week, telling the Post that the wave of online hate has sent a fresh stampede of hungry suitors to her inbox. Any guy that would pursue a woman like this, so-called hungry suitors, deserves what's coming to them. And frankly, probably they won't get a second date anyway. She says, it's just the bum men sitting in their basements that can't afford a nice restaurant that are commenting. So I'm good, says Savannah Pagnosi, is what she said. They always want to get guys in their basement for making comments. I guarantee you there are guys commenting on this whole thing, or guys reading this saying, what an a-hole, who probably live in $1 million homes, probably do very well for themselves, and wouldn't give a broad like this the time of day. And what kind of an a-hole would dump somebody because they don't like the restaurant? Can you see her? Oh, hell no, I'm not going in there. It's food, for God's sakes, lady. It's just getting to know each other the first date. What do you bring to the table? She says, Pagnosi 29 years old, who lives in Hudson Yards, explained in her Instagram post that she's looking for a potential partner who chooses a spot with white tablecloths in $3 sign category, meaning the average cost of an entree there is $31 to $60. Well, on a $3 sign sounds more like it'd be a triple number, but whatever. White tablecloths, huh? It's a first date. And again, what does she bring to the table? Little intermission here because I'm here to sound off on these things. She's 29. Guess what happens after 29? 30. Her prime, a gal's prime, is late teens to the 20s. Her prime is ending. Some might say it's ended a few years ago. And here's the thing, if she's so amazing, why doesn't she have a guy already? She's about to hit 30. When they hit 30, and they know this, guess what? Their S-word market value, if you will, declines. It's like buying a brand new car at the Ford dealership or whatever car brand you buy. Brand new car has 2 miles on it because you drove it down the street to test drive it. And the second you drive that car off the lot, declines in value. It's the same thing. A girl can look just as good at 30 on her birthday as she did a week ago when she was 29, but the second a guy hears at 30, that's the depreciation of the car lot. And guess what? It's not going to get easier. And I've done countless stories about gals like this. I know women like this who would think they're so amazing, such a catch. No guy's good enough. They get to 30s, same thing. Mid-30s, same thing. Late 30s, same thing. And then they really start whining. But guess what? By then, they're competing against all the gals in their 20s. And the type of guys they want don't want them. They want the gals in their 20s. This is likely going to happen to her. But she's being celebrated and cheered on and championed by so many gals like her. Anyway, you can tell I'm in the kind of the mood to sound off here. She says here, the restaurant you pick says a lot about you, and I take my restaurant game very seriously. Her restaurant game? It's fucking food, lady. So if we're not compatible on the restaurant you choose, we're not going to be compatible on a lot of other things she said in the clip. Maybe guys are smart enough, I would imagine, that they aren't going to be spending $600 on a freaking first date, even if it's NYC, because they don't want to waste their money on something that's not going to work out. Or gals that are using them for a foodie call, that type of thing, so they're keeping it inexpensive. Well, she just revealed her hand. And again, here's the thing. What does she bring to the table? What makes her so darn amazing that she have an attitude like this? Well, as many are well aware, both from personal experience or hearing about it, or a combination of both like me, this is the attitude that's out there. You have the 4s acting like they're 10s and the 5s acting like they're 11s, and you get the point. Take away the glamour shot she has that you can see obviously in the post there. She's not that good looking. I mean, she's okay looking, but she's not like, you get my point? The post racked up over 230,000 views and countless comments from men such as, that's why you're still single. Or, I wouldn't waste my favorite restaurant on you. The guy here dodged a bullet. I agree with these guys. Who'd want to be out with someone like that? This is why I say, guys, first date, keep them inexpensive. A drink, whatever. Because it will reveal real quick the gold diggers or the high mighty attitudes like her. I'd take this broad to freaking Burger King. No, I wouldn't even insult Burger King. Burger King, I like the Whoppers. Although they could give her a crown for her little princess head there. Another one says, the audacity. She deserves McDonald's. Another said, while someone else added, you, madam, are Chili's material. Pagnosi, an influencer and comedian, matched with the man she ultimately canceled on, a 38-year-old who works in finance on Luxy, the high-end dating app designed for affluent singles. Okay, if he's 38 years old, works in finance, if he's in NYC, again, NYC is a very expensive place to live. I would imagine he's doing what's considered to be very well, but he's not going to go, obviously not going all out crazy on the first date. Nope, not good enough for her. There were things before even the restaurant situation that weren't up to what I feel solid communication and planning is. And so then when the restaurant got thrown in there, I'm like, okay, no, we're not doing this. Can you imagine walking up to a restaurant with a date and she's like, we're not doing this. Really? She declined to name the eatery he selected, but did hint that it was a run-of-the-mill place on the Lower East Side, on par with the casual restaurant chain The Smith. It's food, asshole. Who gives a shit? Well, apparently she does. Just very chill. It was just very chill, like I could show up in jeans. And I don't want to be showing up to a date like that, she explained. She says, dating is supposed to be fun. Go somewhere vibey, make it sexy, make it exciting. It's not supposed to be this interview process that it somehow got turned into. First dates are an interview process. It is what it is. And she says, dating's supposed to be fun. Do you really think any guy's going to have fun with her, knowing darn well he's going to be judged so much that God forbid he doesn't take her to this place or this place? She does not sound like somebody who's fun. She sounds like somebody with a giant freaking ego whose prime is ending. She says, and if I wouldn't go there to kick it with my girlfriends on a night out when we're going out and getting drinks, why would I go there with a man and lower my value of life? Lower her value of life. Again, who does this broad think she is? What does she bring to the table? I've been doing this a long time, and I've heard this type of thing countless times. And it's interesting that this same girl, on the path that she is with this attitude, will be the same ones in years to come in her 30s, that the type of guy that she would be into, like that 38-year-old in finance who's probably just keeping it casual for the first date, will be begging guys like that to take her out, but they won't be interested because they'll be going for the 20-somethings. The Arizona native who moved to the Big Apple in November said she's dating to find a husband, so will not waste her time with subpar standards. She says dating in New York is competitive. So if you're not going to be up there slaying it, then step aside, she said. And after that viral video, Pagnosi might be finding Mr. Right restaurant. She said she's been pleasantly surprised by the men who have reached out and the high-end Manhattan restaurants they've suggested. She says they always choose really good ones, like Avra, Beef Bar, and Mamo. I have definitely accepted some offers for sure. I'm ready to find my husband. So now her ego is even bigger now because this article actually got guys reaching out to her. And I'm guarantee a lot of guys that would go for this, either there's a few smart asses that are going to mess with her, which frankly, if I lived in New York City, I would clean myself up and I would reach out to her, swear to God, guys. And then I would take her ass to fucking Burger King. And I get it all on video and put it on YouTube. Although I'd have to handle myself carefully with that, but you get my point. But most of those guys are probably these white knight kiss ass types, and you know what I mean? Or maybe they want to say, hey, I took out that crazy girl, dumped that guy, and had my fun with her. I don't know. But guys like that are likelihood you're never going to get a second date, never get a second phone call, and her ego will get even more inflated. And then she'll be the next guy, nope. And then she's in her 30s, nope, nobody's good enough, nope. Miss Carrie Bradshaw there, nope, mid-30s, nope. And then late 30s, then whining and complaining that she can't get any guys anymore. I've done this too long. I've seen this countless times. So for you guys out there that have said, see, this is why I don't do this shit anymore. I don't like the attitude these gals have. Right there, this reinforces and backs up why you made the decision. So when your friends and family say, why aren't you doing relationships? Why aren't you going to get married? Tell them this. And oh yeah, by the way, when she said dating in New York is competitive, and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess how competitive it's going to be in 10 years when a type like her is going to still be single because no guy was good enough, even though had lots of opportunities. And then all of a sudden now she has to compete with gals in her 20s. Then she's going to learn just how competitive it really is. So anyhow, guys, there you go. Not too long. I couldn't resist doing this when I saw this, but this is what's out there, you know? And again, keep the first dates inexpensive. We'll weed out gals like this that you certainly don't want to waste 10 seconds of your time with. Now, to wrap this up for a little fun, going to read some comments. Oh, lots of good comments, but I just have about 5 or 6 of them. One guy says here, talk about self-destruction. This woman just influenced hundreds of young men that it might be more fun to have battery acid enema than date with her. Another one, it says here, and what exactly does she have to offer young men? Ding, ding, ding. Well, the guys that she's going for obviously aren't going to be so young. She wouldn't waste her time on guys that were her age or younger because they're not going to be able to spend the kind of money on her that she feels entitled to. Or does she think that she's just so beautiful and great that all she has to do is show up? That sounds pretty entitled. She'll never find a person with this attitude. She isn't special enough to demand special treatment. I agree. She's not that good looking. Because you see her, there's a couple glam shots for the New York Post in a red dress or whatever. You'll see it. And then you'll see her, like, I guess on TikTok or Reels or something like that. That's the real her. And it's like, it's not that great, you know? But that's just me. You may disagree. Another one. It's because of women like this why more and more men are looking overseas for dates, spouses, etc. And in a way, dating is an interview whether you like it or not. It is an interview. Another one. Guys, women like this aren't worth your time and money. Send her back to the streets where she belongs. The only one who will be sad will be your future divorce attorney. Another one says, already way too much maintenance before you even get out of the box. With that attitude, she will get men with money who want a trophy on their arm and whatever in bed. And last one, this guy says, the guy she canceled on should be thanking his lucky stars. He dodged a big one. Oh, another one. It says here, everybody thinks they're an influencer. She better influence the next guy. If you want to get to know someone, the restaurant vibe is irrelevant. It should be about you and the date. The surroundings should be white noise. Exactly. But again, what kind of stuck-up a-hole goes on a date, meets the guy, they go to the place, she's like, no way, the date is over. That's more and more. Now, I also want to point something out here, the obvious, I forgot to mention earlier, NYC, New York City. That takes the level of attitude entitlement to a whole freaking new level here. She moved from Arizona to NYC, so she's going to be that gal, but good God almighty. So anyhow, guys, like I said, it's not a long one, but I spent more time talking than reading it, but I'm in that kind of mood today, so to get my opinion across, but I'm sure I'm saying a lot of things a lot of you guys agree with. But that's the world we're in right now. And again, who would want to spend their time with someone like that? And even if she was better looking than what I think she is, take away the glamour and the makeup and everything they did for the photo shoot, it's not worth it. It's not worth the attitude. I'll never forget years ago, like 10 years ago, I was out with a couple buddies of mine, a couple married guys. One of them married 20 years, another guy 10. And we're talking about this type of stuff. You know, this is long before I went on YouTube. And I said, knowing what you know, because they've both been married, one 20 years, one 10 years, if you could have a wife who was a 10 in the looks department, face, body type, all that, but her attitude was like a fucking 2 or a 3, or you could have a wife that was a 6 in terms of like the looks department, you know, above average, you know, pretty cute, not too bad, you know, but nothing fantastic. But was a 10, or 9 or a 10 in the attitude and personality and all the good things in the inside about, without hesitating. Both these guys have been around the block, said they'll take the 6 any day of the week. That woman there, as she gets older, and I don't think she's that great looking, like a lot of gals like her, the only card they have to play are their looks. And so when that goes away, what do they have left? That snotty, rotten, high maintenance, high and mighty attitude. So it's going to be interesting. So we'll see down the road. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. If you like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. Catch you next time.